In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, and may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon His last and beloved Messenger Muhammad, and may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all. The title of this presentation is The Mercy of Allah God in the Functional Adaptation of Our Bones, as explained in one flow diagram like the one you see on the screen. So, brothers and sisters, to start with, we will learn in this flow diagram why Allah God Almighty linked His name, the quality of mercy, in the last revelation to people, the Quran. So the first verse of the Quran starts, in the name of Allah God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. So let's start with the example of our bones. So when Allah God Almighty wanted to create our bones, the mercy requires that if the force applied on our bone increases for whatever reason, there should be a certain mechanism which reduces the stress seen on bone such that there would be no risk of fracturing. Let me give another example. Suppose that there is a cement column. Now if the force on the column increases for whatever reason, there should be a mechanism that prevents it from fracturing, and that mechanism could be by increasing its cross-sectional area. So coming back here to the example of bones, that when Allah wanted to create our bones, the mercy requires, as I said, that there should be a certain mechanism that would reduce the stress on bone when the force increases. And we see this, glory be to Allah God, exactly in our bones. The one you can see here is a cross-section in our bones, cross-sectional area. And as you can see here, that's the region indicated to by the orange arrow. This one indicates the growth of new bone. So this one actually here is a bone subjected to an increased force for 4 weeks. So you can see that Allah God Almighty placed a mechanism in bone that actually there is a creation of a new bone. So what this does, that when there is new bone, the cross-section area of the bone increases, and as a result the stress decreases, like you have a thicker column. And here we have another example, the same cross-section area of bone, but after 8 weeks. So we see the creation of even more bone, and again increases the area and reduces the stress, and thus there is no risk of bones fracturing or pain in bones. So you see how the mercy requirement, that there is a mechanism that prevents bone and protects bone from fracturing and reduces and eliminates pain during loading on bones. We see that this mechanism Allah installed in our bones out of His mercy. Because if the force on bone increases, you can carry it, but with pain. But having this mechanism of increasing the amount of bone, actually it eliminates pain and eliminates the risk of fracturing. So I summarize this one here, as you can see. As I said here, this increase in bone mass and cross-section area cause a reduction in the stress seen by bone, and thus eliminating the risk of fracturing the bone. This can be explained by knowing that stress is directly proportional to the applied force and inversely proportional to the cross-sectional area of the bone. Thus, the increase in the cross-sectional area of bone, which is seen when the applied force is increased, causes a reduction in the stress on bone. So glory be to Allah God Almighty, the most compassionate, the most merciful. And I hope that you saw in this easy to follow example how Allah God created our body all based on mercy. And may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all.